Hey, it's the Find Your Voice show with Coach Vuyanzi. We have today Roberta Knox as our guest. Make sure you check out her bio in the description box and get your pens ready and your notebooks ready because school is in session. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Find Your Voice show. I'm always on edge like this because it's like a good edge. I always get excited because of the people who come on and grace the show with their presence. And today is no different. Now, you know who we have here. We have Roberta, and we always started off the same way. I'm like a broken record with all my guests, but I love where this broken record leads to. So, Roberta, tell us, what is your favorite quote?
Okay, my favorite quote, I have to read it here, okay? The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And that is a quote from Nelson Mandela. And oh my goodness, I love this quote so much because I know what it feels like to fall. I think we've all been there at some point or another. But
Roberta, before you go on though,
yes.
I want you to read it again. This quote,
Absolutely.
I don't want people to miss this. I know you're going to explain it, but I need you to read that again because that is powerful. Please,
Sure.
sorry to interrupt, please.
Absolutely. It's the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela, isn't that good?
Oh man. So now, I'm going to ask you to give us a glimpse of what that quote means in your life. Why was this quote? And I'm telling you, you said it. I have like chills going up and down my spine, number one. And number two, I started thinking about the Donnie McClurkin song, We Fall Down, but we get up,
Yes.
I definitely started thinking
that.
about that. However, I want you to tell us, you began, what does this quote mean in Roberta's life?
It is. I think we've all been there where we have fallen and we have fallen hard. And it's about resiliency, getting back up and just wiping yourself off. And, we try to teach our children that resiliency of, when they get on that bike and they fall off to get back on. But for some reason, as adults, we have the hardest time doing that, right? Even though we try to instill that in our children. But that's what we have to do, and it's just recently, I have to share a story with you. I lost, before I started back with my business again, I lost what was my dream job. Okay. And I thought this job was everything to me. I was perfect for it. I pretty much just wrote up the job description for it. Okay.
Wow.
And then I found out that it was given to someone else. So I fell so hard. Okay. I fell so hard. And then I had to stop and think about it. I'm resilient and I can go back into that environment with my head held high. I know who my father is, right? I'm a child of God, right? So it's about that resiliency. When you fall down, you just gotta dust it off, pick yourself up again. It doesn't mean that you failed, because there's no such thing as that. I don't believe in that. But it just means that we got to get back up and take it to another level, maybe go in a different direction. But we got this.
First of all, I hope everyone who's watching, you guys know what I say. Take out your notebooks, take out your pens, because school is in session. Resiliency has been the word here. Yes. Resiliency. And Roberta, I thank you that you've even given us that testimony about your life. Because how many times, like, just like that, we feel like we have something in the bag, like, hello, like, this is perfect. This is opportunity my way. This has to be mine.
Right.
Lo and behold, you don't get the job, you don't get the client, you don't get the whatever it is. And it's seemingly like, I love the way you said it was like your dream job.
It was, it's something that I thought it was, but, God has a different direction for us sometimes, and we just have to follow his path. And that just wasn't that moment for me, but it took a lot of, forgiveness and dusting myself off. And
wow.
all of that. So this quote, I can relate to it totally.
So you said something there, and I'm very interested in this. You talked about, you said there's no such thing as failure. Now, even going back to something that you said before that, because I know I've seen this time and time again. You talked about the bike situation. How many scars do I have on my leg from learning how to ride a bike and falling? And just in general, I was kind of, I enjoyed the rough things, falling down and roller skating on cement. That's a whole nother show. But anyway, I've had so many marks and bruises on my legs. Why? Because I fell. However, it wasn't my last time doing the very
Right.
thing that made me fall. So you point that out. However, then you talk about something that I've heard from our Black women leaders time and time again, like, this happened, forget it. Screw this. This is it. I'm not doing it again.
Mhm.
So, and then I heard you say, oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack here, that, it's you don't believe in calling it failure. So kind of, I know I threw three things on the table. We can also, I'd rather start with, I guess, that failure part. Tell us why you don't believe in that. What new angle should people be taking, or new perspective, to make them come to that very same thought process that you are in?
Right. I don't believe in failure because I feel like it's not failing, it's an experience that you've gone through. To
Mm,
me, that's what it is. And failing is actually a good thing because it helps you put systems in place for the next time that opportunity arises. So we all have to put those systems in place one time or another. And to me, that's just a learning experience to take it to the next level. Then that's what I believe in that. So it's a learning experience, and you have to look at it as, what did I learn from this? Your failures, if you call it a failure, it's something in that you've got to learn from.
mm.
And that's why it's actually a good thing, because once you hit that, you know, I got to do A, I got to do B, I got to put this system in place next time so that it actually never happens again. But think about all the systems that you're going to learn to put in place because of that experience that you went through. So,
Wow. Okay, I'm going to push you a little bit on this.
yeah,
Can you give us an example of, maybe, because I can see someone saying, okay, fine, this lady Roberta, this very beautiful lady Roberta, is telling us to put systems in place. But what do you like? Can you give us some specific examples of what, someone failing and then putting systems in place? What are those systems or processes in place?
yeah, it could be anything. Like, if it's on your job and you failed at some task or whatever, so you can just apply like the systems, maybe applications that you've got to put in place for this not to happen again. Any kind of technical, situations, equipment, anything that you can put into place for that to never happen again. So it could be anything on your job, in your
Mm.
business, anything. So that's kind of what I mean. What maybe the technical side do you do? How do you need to improve on customer service maybe next time with these things? So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
those are the systems.
So you're making us do something here, Roberta. You're making us look in the mirror. You're,
Yeah.
you're making us look in the mirror and be, to be honest, well, to be aware,
Yes.
to be honest, and also having that integrity as we move forward in doing something else. Time and time again, I'm going back to the bike, but then, you fall down and then you get back up. And then you can't do it the same way, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
maybe your parent or whoever it was that may have taught you how to ride a bike. They're saying, okay, balance it. Okay, keep your weight in the middle. Keep your weight in the middle. Pedal, 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 pedal,
Right.
pedal. You know, I have
That's
experience in this,
that's
right?
that's that system, right? What did you do the second time to do that different, to balance on that bike? You did something different with that, right? So you just put something new in place to make it happen. And that's what we have to do with our failures as adults, if you want to call them failures.
Well, here's the thing, though, Roberta. Listen, school's in session, you guys. She's given us now that in between falling off and getting back on the bike, that you need something, right? What do we call what is the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Right.
And what you're saying, Roberta, is key when you hit on that system and processes. So all of you guys, I want you in your notebooks, you wrote down resilience, you wrote down failure, maybe a question mark. What are you learning that came out of this? This is what Roberta has said.
Right.
And then now you don't just walk away saying, okay, I learned this. No, no, no. How will I make it different for the next time around? And here's the thing that I'm taught from, in my studies, that we don't say, can we make it different the next time around? We say, how can we, right? Because then the command center starts to look for those answers. I guess that also is the prompting for those systems and those processes to make it different for the next time. You're giving us so many things. I hope to check. You're not going to send us an invoice when this is over for tuition, because school is in session. Oh my gosh. So you're talking from different life experiences, I would imagine. And the thing I want to go to is, we know that this is called the Find Your Voice show. Can you tell us how you've found your voice in your life?
Absolutely. Finding your voice to me is like, everybody has this great communication tool that they possess in finding your voice. And it could be your purpose or what you're passionate about, what you believe in. And it could just be, sharing your testimony or your story. That's where your voice comes in at. And for me, I have to kind of go back a little bit to where I was in the military. That's kind of where I was able to find my voice. I was in the military. I'm a United States Army veteran. I was in
say that we pause. We say thank you. We honor you.
Thank you
for your service.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So being at a time where I'm a woman soldier, a sergeant in a male dominant field. And you have to figure out a way to use your voice. And that's when I learned how to use mine. Because as a sergeant woman, if you get upset about something, you're that type of woman, right? They call you that type of woman. We're not going to say what that is. But then if you show your emotions, you're considered to be weak. And that's not even just in the military. That's, unfortunately, that's part of our society, period. But I had to be able to find my voice to let myself be heard, to let them know I may be a woman, but I'm still a sergeant. I still deserve respect. I'm not sitting in the back anymore. I'm sitting forward, and I'm going to talk about the things that I'm passionate about and to make a difference, So that's I had to learn that very quickly, but that's where I really was able to find my voice as a woman.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You're hitting on something here, right? Because so many people, right? I work with Black women leaders, and so many times they are talking about how they want others to react to them. And the thing I say in my coaching calls is, listen, in the end, you only have control over one person, and it's not your kid, it is you.
Right.
So Roberta, can you kind of take us down a path a little bit of how, because it had to started from you, how it started from you, like you've given us that, but then how did you notice the soldiers reacting to you? Did you see an evolution depending upon how you came about, this new self-confidence for yourself? I don't know. My question is a little convoluted, but I'm hoping you got something from.
That's kind of how did they respond to that? At first it was very difficult because you have to, as a woman, you just had to prove yourself that you could be mentally and physically and everything, especially in the military, capable of doing it. But I learned one of the greatest leaders that I was taught by in the military, he taught me that you have to get yourself inside the trenches with your people for them to respect you. And once I did that, I was respected more. Isn't that crazy? I was respected more. And so that my voice it made a difference.
Mm.
So that was the thing for me. He was like, you got to get in the trenches. Literally, we were getting in the trenches. Okay. You got to get in the trenches literally with your people and have that respect. And once I did that, things started changing for me, and just having that confidence. And at the very beginning, I might not have had it. One of the quotes I also want to say is from my pastor, where he says, "Act like it's so before it's so it can become so." I've always done that. So I act like, okay, I got this confidence. I got this, before I even had it. And then once people can see that, it's a different level of respect, and then your voice can be heard. My voice started being able to be heard.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, Roberta, gems. We're mining. We're not even mining for gems here. Gems are coming up out of the ground. So everyone, listen to what's going on here. I'm hearing an evolution of self. I'm hearing, oh, they're not respecting me, not giving me that. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, it's pointing to the outside. But then there had to be a change internally.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now the change happens internally, acting as if, right?
Yes.
And now, after that change is happening, I would imagine then there was a next layer. Now, some of you may be saying, well, we don't have trenches to get into, but we know certainly metaphorically,
Yes.
as women leaders do have trenches, whether
Absolutely.
you are a CEO or C-suite, a corporate cutie, as I call them, or if you are a business beauty, there's something relational.
Absolutely.
And therefore, it sounds like because you did the internal, eventually the external followed without you saying, you must give me respect. No.
Right. Absolutely.
It was the change that happened and the growth you saw, and therefore you attracted or you manifested the respect that really initiated this whole, that you desired, that initiated this whole process to begin with.
Absolutely. And that's it, because sometimes, we want to blame other people for not being able to listen to us and gaining that respect and everything. But it starts inside us. It might be something that we have to change within ourselves. Sometimes we got to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and change what we're doing. It's not you're changing yourself for somebody else. It's not to that degree, but sometimes it is things that we got to change, how we look at things and how we lead forward.
No man, what is it? The poem, I think it is. No man is an island. Well, of course, we're not talking about men, but when you even said that, we're not isolated people. We are people who mix and mingle and do business with other individuals.
Absolutely.
So I love this process that you're taking us through. Everyone, I hope you're taking notes. Okay, let's go on. You told us how you found your voice. Can you tell us how you're helping other women or whomever you're helping to find their voice?
Absolutely. It's like the platform that we have the opportunities to help women really magnify their voices through transformations.
Say
through
the
their
platform
business.
again. Say the platform again, because they may have heard it, but I want to make sure people understand.
Yeah, through Zero to Strong, our platform there, we have the opportunity to help women to magnify their voices through their transformations of starting their businesses or expanding their businesses. So if you think about it, every business, I'm talking about business owners, they have created their business because of something that happened in their past. Usually something has something to do with it. When you decide to create these businesses, it's because there was something that was important that happened to you in your past. And we're just kind of using our voices to kind of help expand in our business or start our businesses. So like what I mean by that is, like, for example, for me, when I started Zero to Strong, things like that happened in my past because I was in male dominant roles, or I was in the corporate room, and I was usually the only Black woman as well.
Yes.
In corporate rooms and things. So I created Zero to Strong because I wanted to show women how to feel empowered, how
Mm.
to be able to go into the corporate and boardrooms with other males and to be able to rise to the occasion. And I also help youth through Zero to Strong as well,
Wow.
young ladies. And that also has something to do with my past, because when I was in high school, well, yeah, when I was in high school, I went to a really, really tough high school. It was bad. And
Wow.
so there were no other women or men coming into our schools to tell us that we could be anything that was inside our environment, unfortunately. So it's really important for me to go back into the schools and talk to these students to let them know you are more, you are more than what your environment may look like right now. I usually try to go back into schools where it's pretty tough, like I came from.
Wow.
So, you could be more than that. So that's what I say. There is women's voices that is within their businesses. And
Mm.
it's usually coming from experiences that they have had before. So I kind of uplift them and motivate them
Wow.
to expand, to
Mhm.
expand on and use your voice. Sometimes we have to use our voices for the voiceless, for the voiceless, okay?
Yes.
And we
Yes.
do that through our businesses. Sometimes we have to use our voices for those who are grooming to learn how to use their voices. And that's what I'm talking about, our youth.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. We expand upon it, through Zero to Strong. We give them that power to be able to use that voice and to be motivated and not
Mm.
scared to use it. Because we talk to a lot of women who are just starting their businesses and they got that fear behind it. And
Yes.
we always tell them, be an entrepreneur, you have got to use your voice. If you want your
Wow.
business to grow, if you want it to go somewhere,
Yeah.
to get it even started, you have to use your voice.
Oh.
So, and we always say, think about your why, think about why you decided to
Mm.
start this business in the first place. That is where your voice comes from. So we try to encourage people
Wow.
and to really motivate women to, this is your business. Use your voice to grow your business and think about your why.
Well, oh, Roberta, I love what you're doing, and well, that's how I met you. Well,
Yeah.
through Breakfast with the Girls, that's how I met you. But you said something key here, right? You shared your high school experience, and it's funny because I never think that you went to a tough high school, but I'm like, man, like I'm imagining
Yeah.
something like Lean on Me from back in the day. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Lean on Me, with the
I
guy with the
did.
bat, that's from a school in New Jersey, actually. So you've given us a glimpse of that in high school. And then also you told us about, where you got to in as far as the military. But let me ask you this, Roberta. Was it the military or was it something else that even helped you elevate beyond what your environment possibly could have dictated for your life as far as education is concerned?
Mhm. It was a little bit of everything that
Mm.
I've gone through in my past. It was the military, it was school, it was being in that boardroom, the only Black woman in there. And, even still to this day, those are things that are happening,
Yes.
so it was just a little bit of everything that,
Mm.
yeah, that got to this point. Yeah.
Wow. And is there a defining moment that you would say for you something clicked? I don't know, to change the trajectory of your life.
I think it was just, especially just being in just the male dominant areas of being that only Black woman and not being heard, just being like
Wow.
passed over for different things because I'm a woman. And
Mm.
that's exactly what it was. And oh my goodness, that's like one of the biggest pet peeves that just irritates me so much. But that's the biggest thing for me, just being passed over, being in situations where you're not mentored by,
Mm.
men because you're a woman and all this stuff like that. So I think those are the big things that just kind of set me over the edge to like, we can't do this anymore. I'm not going to
Wow.
allow or tolerate this anymore. And
Wow.
I guess that's why I fight so much for myself, but also for other women and also for our young ladies they
Mm.
don't have to ever, they're going to experience this, but at least we're giving them the resources and everything to be able to get through it when they get to that, when it comes to that point. We're not going to say that's not going to happen to our young ladies, because it will,
Yeah.
but at least they know how to get through it. And I think that's what it was for me that kind of set me over the edge.
Wow, wow. But I think with your saying that to me, and I hope everyone is seeing, connecting the dots back to resilience, the
Yeah.
very thing that we started with. Because of your experience, you could have been like, screw this. I'm not even gonna try to, like, this is about survival. I'm not gonna try to
Yeah.
help someone else. You could have been like that. Not saying those people are bad, but there's many people who are like, well, X, Y, Z, I didn't have the tools. Somebody, they'll figure it out. There's a lot of people who think like that. Not saying you guys are bad. However, look at what you did with your experiences, and you have
Mhm.
taken us back. Your resilience in that. Roberta, oh my gosh. Is resiliency your theme word in your life, or is there a theme word that you carry throughout?
That is a big one for me. Resiliency is big for me because, you do, sometimes you got to get through it with your head held up high. Forgiveness and all of that comes with resiliency. And I've learned to do it. I'm not going to say that it was easy, because it is really hard. I'm
Right.
not going to pretend to your audience that, oh, it's so easy to get back up, because it's not.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing that it helps me is my relationship with God.
Mm.
So that's the biggest part for me. I do a lot of praying, and I listen, I be still to hear what he's telling me. And I know that sometimes you gotta lift your head up and you just go through it, no matter if you're embarrassed or you feel some kind of way. Sometimes we want to be petty about stuff and everything, but life is too short.
Mm. Oh
Life
my
is too
gosh.
short to be going through all that. So sometimes you just got to lift your head up and power through. Just be resilient.
Wow, I love what you're saying, and those words in and of itself, are great. We're starting to wrap this up. Are there any more last words to the Black woman leader right now, who's watching this, and who just, they've been embarrassed for, they feel like, the last freaking time, they've been hurt for the last time, like they're saying, this is the last time I'm going to get hurt. They're being passed over for what they feel like this has got to be the last time. They're failing, or they feel like a failure. What final words do you have for that Black woman leader?
It's just that, first of all, you are not a failure. We are not a failure. Sometimes we put so much on ourselves, so much, and it really comes from the self-sabotage that we do to ourselves, and we got to get beyond that. Know that we are loved, we are beautiful, we are creative. We have skills, talents, and gifts like no other, and you just got to use that for the goodness of it. Use your experience of what you're going through, and don't hold that in. I always tell women to talk to somebody about it. It's okay not to be okay.
All right, that was a shameless plug while you were doing my commercial. You should talk to someone like a coach. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Talk to coach. That's right. But I always say that, just to talk to someone about it, and just let them walk you through it. And only thing I can say is just lift your head up high. You know who you are. I say God all the time, but you are a child of God. And, we've talked about this before, just the other day. It's like, if you could only see yourself the way God sees you, you would be talking different, walking different. You would be taking risks. You would be doing all this. So sometimes you got to leave things, leave it behind. You can't keep looking in the rearview mirror at stuff. You got to move forward. And like I said, resiliency, it's a lot about forgiveness. You got to forgive those people who hurt you. And that is oh my goodness, coach, that is a hard thing to do, forgiveness. But while we're sitting here, stewing in our madness and all this, the person who has done those things to you, they're not even thinking about it anymore. They've moved on. And we sometimes stew at things for months upon years until it's just weary, right? So we're destroying ourselves, our insides, our energy, our motivation, everything, worrying about something that we don't have control over anymore, something that has happened in the past, someone who's not even thinking about it anymore.
You're preaching right now. Go ahead.
Right?
You're preaching.
So we're not doing that anymore. We're not going to do that anymore. We are going to lean forward. We are going to use everything that we have been giving, all our abilities, like I said, all our skills, gifts, and talents, and we're going to use it to manifest something, right? So we got this, ladies. We got this. We don't have to go back.
Wow.
Looking forward to this day. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what your audience does, from this moment on, and how you could change. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that it's easy. It's a process. Let me tell you, it's a process, but surround yourself. That's another thing, coach. Surround yourself with the right people. Right? The right people to help you get through what you're going through, because that is going to be a big, big difference for you. Right now, I feel like I am surrounded by the most beautiful women. I feel my life feels so, so good right now, because sometimes you got to get rid of the distractions. And we know what those distractions are. I'm sure everybody knows those red flag distractions that are happening around you. And for those people who are causing distraction in your life, you got to love them from a distance. We're not going to say get rid of them. We're supposed to love everybody, but we've got to love them from a distance, right? So that's all I just want to say to your audience, you can do this. We're not going backwards anymore. We're not dredging on things that happened in the past. From this day forward, we are moving forward, and we're not stopping.
Ooh. Does someone have the offering plate? Around the offering plate, because this woman has given you a word. Oh my gosh, a word from the Lord, dare I say, because someone, by the time this airs, someone is needing to hear what you just said. And when you said forgive, I know that was for whomever watches it. You've already given me some chills today, but that was the most forceful energy that I felt when you said forgive. Someone watching this today, I feel like a televangelist, but someone watching this today needs to forgive.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that. We're not going back anymore.
We're not going backward anymore. Worrying about things, and I would say stewing in things. I mean, that takes too much out of you.
It does.
It takes too much.
It is an energy sapper. It saps you, it robs you. And I love how you just said those people who offended you, they don't even care, like they're living their lives.
They're not even thinking about it anymore. And we've been sitting on this for months and years, talking, so-and-so did so-and-so and so. They're not even, you go to that person tomorrow and they're like, I don't even remember that conversation. And we are still in our feelings.
This is the truth. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait. I mean, I tell you, all my conversations are great. And this is just another push that I can't wait to be editing this and get it out to everyone, because this is, you have really, I laugh, I play around. However, in the midst of this, I am being straight up real, you guys. Like, I hope that you have jotted down some notes. These, I feel like those who have come here, including yourself, Roberta, are divinely handpicked and have had something for the masses. Something specifically, this show focuses on Black women leaders. There's something here for you from other Black women leaders. Roberta, I know some people are salivating like, where can we find her? Where can we find Pastor Roberta? No, that's not her name, but we just gave her that title just the same. Where can they find you, Roberta? Please tell us, and we'll make sure we link everything you say also in the description as well.
Absolutely, thank you. They can go to zerotostrong.org and you can find our website there, or you can find us also on Instagram at the handle 0_2_strong.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is, it's so wonderful. Roberta, I say thank you so much for being a guest on the Find Your.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you. I adore you so much and I appreciate the opportunity.